He's going. So let's dive right in. All right. So pit power plays is the name of the game here. So a quick risk disclosure. Trading does involve significant risk. Past performance does not guarantee future results. Do not trade with the last of your mortgage money here. Trade with money you can afford to lose, please. And always have a risk management plan. Of course, we will assist with that, but we have different financial situations than you probably. So have your own risk management plan as well. This is not investment advice. You are solely responsible for your own trading decisions. All right. So pit power plays is going to be safer option swing trades meant for more consistent growth. So I am currently on the last 10 weeks. I've put out 10 of these. I've been sharing these in our general options trading group with everybody. I've put out 10 of these, and the past 10 have all been winners. Now, the 11th was not. So there will be losers, but we will give you high quality trades, one per week. That way, you don't have to stare at a screen all day. You don't have to be waiting for an exit.
Hello.
You can
Is it
kind of
packed in there? Is it packed in there?
you can set it and forget it, kind of, to an extent. So these are safer and they're meant to build consistent growth. So one high quality trade per week, usually on a Monday. Next week it might be on a Tuesday since it's a holiday on Monday. Structured execution, minimal screen time, if any. You could probably do it right from your phone, no problem. So this is all because we want you trading like professionals, and professionals are going to be usually more successful. Me and Nate were just talking about how sometimes they can get wrecked, but they usually don't trade more as a professional. You just trade better. Okay. I'm not a professional slideshow host here, so there we go. So better trades, fewer trades, structure, define the risk, and we go a little bit farther out with these. So whereas I may enter a bunch of short-term trades that we're in and out of fast, or I'll use the essential trade as a stop loss. So if I think that Warner Brothers is going to get a massive spike because of potential buyout from Netflix in the next couple weeks, I might go a couple weeks out, maybe just a week or two out, and get some really cheap calls, try and get 300, 400% returns real quick on those. With these, we're going to go weeks and weeks out, maybe months out, and trying to get 25 to 50% returns is the goal. So the last 5 weeks, 5 trades executed, all 5 were winners. The hold time is around 1 to 7 days. When the underlying stock has moved 1.6 to 3.2%, that has given us options returns of 23 to 48%. Right, so much better than the other line. It doesn't take huge moves. So these were the last 5 trades. Here we had Merck for the 43% gainer. BAC was at 48%, AA was at 23%, APO was at 36%, and GM was a 24%. These are past performance and not a guarantee of future results. But if you started with a $2,500 account and you just took one contract, so these contracts on these, I think the most expensive contract out of all these was the Merck. It's about $5 a share, so $500 contract. So the highest risk was 500, which would be a 20% risk on a $2,500 account. So that's about as high as I would go. But we closed it out for a $900 return, somewhere around there. So I actually think this was the first alert that I went to close it out. I closed out half my position first for the 43% return, and then I think I got 900 out of that 500 for close to 100% return in the long run there. One trade per week, one contract per week. If you have a huge account, if you got a couple of zeros added onto this baby here, you can go bigger. But if you want to just start, get your feet wet, feel free to do one contract a week. This example is for educational purposes only. Like I said, does not guarantee future results, but you can see how over 5 winning weeks with a $2,500 account risking no more than $500, you would have ended up with $555 in net gains. But there will be losers. I'm a little bit nervous actually releasing this after 10 weeks of straight wins, because that's typically when the losers come, is after you've been winning. It's typically when you start a loss or two in there. So no guarantees. There will be losers. It just happens. You got to manage your risk. But recent win rate is around 85 to 90% of all trades that we've made over the past year with this system have been winners. So markets do change, which can change results. Never bet more than you can lose. I'd say 5 to 10% allocation on your entire account is a good place to be. Um, Start with one contract. You can also paper trade these, kind of get a feel for it, build your confidence up, see that they work, and never bet the house. Protect your accounts. So what is it? So one options trade per week, longer dated contracts, clean technical structure, and exact entry and exit alerts. So we will tell you when we enter. We'll always enter on Monday in between 3 p.m. and 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you are completely unavailable during that time, might not be for you. If you have enough time to just check your phone real quick, see the play when it's alerted, and jump on it, then it might work. So we selected based on market context. So we're going to go with the strong sector. So for example, Merck, I'm going to use Merck a lot because that was the most recent winner. We actually just had another winner in CNC, I believe it was. But Merck was right before that when I built these slides. So that's what we're going to talk about. So the strong sector, healthcare was starting to pick up. Saw some rotations into healthcare coming. The stock structure looked great. It was on a big breakout. We'll do these on a breakout. It'll be a big breakout, maybe new highs a lot of the times, and then a nice pullback. Risk-defined options. So I know some of you guys, Steve, Nate, you'll drop something in the chat and be like, "What do you think of this one?" And I'll be like, "Wait till it pulls back to the AEMA." These are me alerting you when something nice like that is pulling back to the AEMA right around there. Simple management rules. So consistency is going to beat the home runs every time. We see those huge gainers. We see those big rippers. Those what was the one the other day? RO something. It was massive though. Went up 500% in a matter of hours. And we see those, and our mouths get watery, and we get all excited, and we want that all the time. And if we chase that all the time, we will blow our accounts all the time. So these are the things that build accounts slowly and actually work. So 943% return on 9 consistent wins is pretty dang good. It's a repeatable process. Exposure is controlled, so you'll never lose more than you bet here, and it is scalable. So if you start with one contract, and for the first 10 weeks you just use one contract, you can always scale up as you get more comfortable, as you build your account size. You can scale it up to multiple contracts as well. So this is for you if you want clarity, if you don't want constant alerts. So if you're not looking for in and out, in and out, in and out, if you value real structure and you just want steady growth. It's not for overnight big bang. It is for slow and steady growth. All right, so you're going to receive weekly power play alerts via Telegram. So I think most of you guys are already on Telegram. You should see the new Telegram channel popping up. If you sign up, we'll get there in there right away. Exact entry and exit. So we'll tell you right when we're entering and right when we're exiting. These are usually not trades that I'm averaging into. They're usually just trades I'm happy just taking the trade, just set it and forget it kind of thing. Give you some trade rationale, why we think that it's the right move to make, and then ongoing updates. Occasionally, it'll be an update like, hey, we got to stop out. The tariff news, the Supreme Court overruled the tariffs, and this option is going to shit. Or um, taking a little profits here, closing half, save the next half if you want. If not, close it all out. But this is a good example of one of the trades alerted here was on Merck. Like I said, we were adding Merck February 20th calls. So this was January 5th. So you can see we're about a month and a half, 2 months out on the calls, $105 calls right around when it was about $105 kind of at the money here. You can see that it had broke out to new highs, pulled back. I actually think our entry was a little bit lower than what I put on here. I'm not the best at editing photos. I'm much better at trading because the logical entry is right on this candle here, but it could have been the next day as well. But you'll see we had a breakout to new highs, pull back to the 20 EMA, then more breakouts to new highs, and more highs and more highs and more highs. And at this point, this is where everybody's like, should we buy it here? Should we buy it here? And I'm like, no, chill, wait for it to pull back a little bit. And then that's when we pull it back right here. Around 105, we entered, and I think calls were about $5. Yeah, $5 a share at that time. And then we ripped up to 111.50 and some change, 112 at the highs. But I think right around 111, we're taking profits on Merck calls. And actually, I alerted them when they were up 80%. So nice take home there. Quick $400. I think we made, like I said, we got in at 5, got out at 9. So With results like these, honestly, I could easily charge $5,000 a year for this service. That was the first number that came to my mind. I thought, $100 a week is fair. Gonna make more than that every week on the trades, so it should be good to go. But I wanted to create a service that was more affordable, cheaper, the less plays, easier to kind of get people going with. I wanted something for newer people and for you guys as well. I know a lot of you guys have been with me for a while, but also for new people who have not been with me for a while, don't know as much about options, just want to get their feet wet, just want to get started. So to introduce you to the Pitbull family and to get our new services rolling, because like I said, we're kind of doing a hard reset on all past services. Um, not because there was necessarily anything wrong with them, but we just had kind of one main big service where we just alert everything. And a lot of those trades are not for everybody. And you'll see people coming into the chat like, what do I do? This trade's going against me. It's like, well, that person should have never been in that trade in the first place. If somebody betting their last $50 on a $50 option, if an option costs less than $100, there's a solid chance that thing's going to zero. So if you're going to stress out about your last $50, then probably shouldn't be buying that option in the first place. So we wanted to put together a service that would work for everybody, that would kind of introduce people in, get their feet wet, get them building an account size up, even if they're starting with a smaller account. So we're going to be charging less than 50% of the $5,000 plus in value you're going to be receiving. And the first 20 people are going to save even more than that. We also have a way at the end, I'm going to tell you how to get it totally free. So the full price for the year, the retail price that we're going to start this at is going to be $2,149 for the year. That is about $50 a week and should be plenty easy to make that back over the year with a single contract per trade. But for the first 20 people, you are not going to pay the recommended $5,000, and you are not even going to have to pay the retail price that we're going to be offering at $2,149. Instead, since my loyal followers are going to be my first 20, I'm going to do a one-time offer. First 20 people who take it, get it. A few have already taken it. If that's you, congratulations. But you guys are going to get a huge discount. So huge discount for the first 20 people. We're going to take another 50% off. So we took about 60% off what I thought it should be, another 50% off what it's going to be. And you're going to receive the new Pit Power Plays for only $9.99 a year. Or if you break it down monthly, you can do that at $89 per month. And if you want, you could even get it totally free. So if you want to get it totally free, for every 2 people that you sign up, I'm going to give you a month for free. So if you refer 2 of your friends, and we can give them the founding member rate as well. That's why it's 2. If you refer 1 at the full price rate, you can get it was just 1 friend. But refer 2 friends, knowing that this is for people who might not have as much experience with options, and that's okay. I have a couple guys that just football buddies, and they want to start getting into it, and I'm going to recommend the service to them and shoot the links over to them, see what they think, because I think it's a good place to start. So refer 2 friends to our founding member offer, and you will get your first month totally free. So the link is live. First 20 spots will be available, or after once the first 20 spots are no longer available, then they're going to have to pay the $21.49 a year rate. But the first 20 spots will get in at that nice discounted rate. So tell your friends, and I will drop that link in all the chats, all of the whatchamacallits, the Facebook groups, any groups that we're in, anywhere you see us, I'll be dropping that link any second now. So be ready if you haven't jumped on it yet.